sector is how is AI going to play a role? For energy traders, it's going to play a massive role. These are both private and public since, well, the renewable space is opening up the energy market for competition. And to understand how AI plays a role, I first want to describe the difference between data science and artificial intelligence. So data science is defined as the studying and analyzing the data to find meaning from it so that decisions can be made afterwards. Think of, for example, someone sitting on Excel, getting all their data, making graphs, saying, okay, cool, here's the profile, here's the forecast, here's all that kind of stuff, and then making decisions from that. That's data science. Artificial intelligence is very similar, except you're not getting graphs as an output. You're getting specific things as outputs. So, for example, artificial intelligence is regularly defined as automated decision making. It doesn't have to be, and we'll get to that in a second. But if you have this black box and you have all this input data, the same as what the data science models would have, you have this input data and then you have an automated decision on the outside. That's kind of how AI is described. The benefit between AI and data science, and not just the benefit, but the necessity within the energy sector, or within all sectors, is that AI can take considerably more, exponentially more data than what data science techniques can do. And so that's that kind of interplay between, okay, AI can handle all the vast amounts of data that we now have, which our normal techniques can't, the techniques we've been using for the last 30 years. But then AI kind of skips steps. You don't get a graph out, so you have to, it kind of skips a lot of steps. So there's kind of that interplay between data science and artificial intelligence. Nevertheless, AI can be taken back. So you can go into the black box, contrary to popular belief, but you can go into the black box and start, okay, cool, I don't want an automated decision. I want a forecast in the same way that data science would do. And so it's actually quite interesting because artificial intelligence is state of the art at forecasting. Forecasting on smaller granular levels than what data science techniques are, but at those granular levels, it's state of the art. It's the best in the world. And when it comes to energy traders in general, the better your forecast, the better your decision making, and the more profit, right? And by forecasting, I mean load forecasting, so how much energy is going to be needed, and generation forecasting, how much energy am I generating, be it from dirty energy, coal, a little easier, switch on the big plants, cool, we know it's probably going to give this amount, or solar and wind, very variable. Is the wind going to blow tomorrow? When's the sun going to shine? How much energy is it going to generate? How much UV index and solar radiation and all that kind of stuff is getting involved? And so you end up with different things that you have to forecast. And for renewable energy, it's interesting because AI is actually being forced into the energy sector because of that volatility in renewable energy. We need to know how much generation is going to be. And if I can tell you with really, really good accuracy, better than anything, exactly how much energy is going to be produced in the next hour versus really bad accuracy over the next 3 weeks, right? Just think of weather forecasts in general. Then why not work on the hour basis? And it's interesting as well because the South African regulations work at a 30-minute interval basis. And so AI is state of the art, considerably better than our normal data science techniques. AI can take considerably more data than our data science techniques. And AI is considerably faster at that computations. So the reason the data science techniques can't use vast amounts of data is simply because the computational power necessary increases too much. And AI doesn't. Well, AI does, but it's more manageable and easier to manage, hence the 8 billion parameter ChatGPTs and all this kind of extra stuff. And so now we can ingest vast amounts of data, which is being gathered, and we can forecast at granular levels. So at the moment we're working kind of like at a day ahead, that kind of thing, and it's still doing better than the data science techniques. But AI's power is if we get to that 30-minute level, we ask the AI model, okay, tell me exactly what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes, then it's really, really powerful. And so then we can use those forecasts to help us with our decisions, right? We can take it even a step further to start doing automated decision making, but there is the conversation that we'll have to get to in terms of job losses and all that kind of extra stuff. But when it comes to the forecasting, there's still the data scientist who's doing forecasting. Now you have an AI scientist doing forecasting, so it's not jobs being lost. And then the AI forecasting is state of the art, so you kind of have to use it. And so then we can use it within our private trading. Cool, my generation's going to be producing this much, and this municipality is going to be needing this much. How much can I insert into there? How much is the municipality going to buy from someone else? We can start doing that private trading, and we can even aid the public space. So our grids are all being manually run, not manually, but people are on the ground flipping switches, doing the data science. Okay, cool, we need to switch this thing off then, this thing on then. Load shedding as well plays a role there. And so if you start doing the forecasting, the really good forecasting, then we can start massively improving our energy efficiency. And in that sense, we can reduce energy prices, which is becoming a big problem. We can have more reliable energy, and we can have a just transition away from dirty energy to renewables. So the reason we can't just switch is because we don't have the capacity. We don't know when the renewables will be generating energy and when the coal plants switching them off, so they won't be producing anything. Then we need too many batteries with the renewable energy, all that kind of extra jazz. But now we can do a just transition where we say, okay, cool, we know exactly how much the renewable is going to make every hour, every day. So from Eskom or from the coal plants, okay, cool, we need this much to match the demand. We know how much the supply is going to be in the next day. We need an extra to match the demand. So that's the role that AI is going to be playing on the energy space, and for energy traders as well, for those IPPs building their own generation capacity. It's going to be a game of forecasting. Whoever can forecast the best wins.